there, and welcome to the section of social media marketing. Now, it's taken us a little while to get here because I wanted to cover the fundamentals, but here the magic really starts because social media is all about making you seem like an expert in your field, getting you mass scale, using the new kind of marketing strategies. And as you see, this is the curriculum for the section of social media marketing. We're going to cover Google+, Quora, YouTube, podcasting, how to go viral, all kinds of different strategies. This is going to be stuff that professionals use, that marketing agencies use. This is going to be really good stuff, and I'm going to give it all to you here. And then we're going to go in a little bit more depth on Facebook and Twitter because those are some of the very popular social media marketing. And actually, I'll have, as you see, a little bit more on YouTube as well because that's also a huge social network. And then after that, we're going to kind of segue into how social media impacts SEO, because social media impacts SEO in a huge way. They're very interrelated. And when you get them to work together, like real magic happens. So get ready. We're going to get you all the magic to start happening right now. Now we're entering the part of the course where we are getting out of the SEO conversation and we're getting into social media marketing. The reason I really wanted to focus on SEO first is that you will see that we're going to use a lot of SEO elements in our social media, and we're going to amplify our social media reach and success with SEO. Okay, this is the 1 + 1 = 3 sort of a deal. So what we're going to talk about is the usual suspects, right? The Twitters, the Facebooks, the YouTube. YouTube is huge. We're going to talk about podcasting. We're going to talk about other social media networks. So that by the end of and we're going to really talk about also, always think about it as authority marketing. How can you position your business as the authority in your niche, or yourself as the authority in your niche? So, and that's what social media really allows you to do, right? Because who used to be the authorities years ago? People on TV, celebrities. No, now it's democratized. Now you can become a known person in your industry just with your own hustle and creativity and hard work and SEO and social media in combination, right? So that's all the stuff that we're going to do. So let's just get started. One thing about SEO is that you can rank well, but if the piece of the blurb that people see isn't attractive, people won't click, and then it actually will make your rankings decrease. So the click-through rate is very important. And to increase your click-through rate, something very powerful you can do is write amazing headlines. So I'm going to post this link here at the end of the video, but let's go through together. And this is a list of 31 great kind of templates for headlines, right? So you don't have to think about it. So you can see and you can recognize these templates for headlines, right? So you don't have to think about it. So you can see and you can recognize these online, right? You can recognize these because I'm sure we've all clicked on these things, right? You can, the number one thing is the quick and easy way to do XYZ, right? So instead of writing something like tutorial for XYZ, which is boring, right? Here's the quick and easy way to blah, 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 right? You can do the quick and easy way to set up your website. Or number of things I learned from something, right? That's kind of interesting because it's unique and it has the promise of something. Or number 3, how to the anatomy of doing something perfectly, or right, how to achieve good results, essentially. Surprising way to do something, right? So number 4 is good because people think like, oh, maybe I haven't seen this before. And then there's the how-to kinds of things, how to do this, how to avoid that, how to do this despite that, right? How to get more accomplished, because we've all seen these things, how to accomplish more with less, blah, 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 these sort of things. So these headlines are very common. And, if you start using them, and I've been using them and it's been working, it's very effective. Especially when, like I mentioned earlier in my earlier videos, if you use hashtags and if you use social updates and you want to amplify your reach, one of the great ways to naturally, organically amplify your reach is to write great headlines and then use hashtags and then boost all those things, and so you get the best of all worlds. And this is how you tweet like a pro, kind of. Okay, so and then these are I guess, get rid of a problem. That's a really good one, because if you have a problem, you want to get rid of it, whatever it is. Something blah, 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 blah. Yeah, do something like a pro. I use this one a lot, actually. Like when I promote my marketing book, I go like, promote your business like a pro, or something like that. It exudes confidence. Why you need this? Yeah, ways to do this. Why you need that? This is, number 14 is kind of repeating number 12 here. So you guys get it, right? So just use these headlines. I don't want to go through all of them because the video will become too long. And then these, well, I'll kind of go through them a little bit. Here is interesting because in the yellow, you see number of ways to do this number of ways for that, number of things that. These are called listicles, and people click on them. All these like top 10 ways to do that, top 10 ways to do that, top 7 ways to do this. People click on them because they kind of hope that at least one of those or two of those ways will be helpful. And then the ultimate guide is really helpful. I know my friend Nick Loper. I've seen him use that a few times, and it was pretty effective in his headlines. He's from the site hustlenation.com. If you check that out, his podcast and blog and things like that. So everything you need to know about. So favorites. So these are like the ultimate things, right? So also exudes a lot of confidence, these particular ones. So try them. Don't just tweet. Whenever you tweet or whenever you put a Facebook up, whenever you are working on a Facebook update, instead of the text that you are going to put, find a similar headline here and structure it in the way that this article suggests. Because if you do that, these are primed. They have been proven to get more engagement. These headlines. So instead of yours, try to see how you can make yours more like these, and hopefully that will get you a little bit more natural, organic, extra click-throughs and things like that. And just a little bit of extra click-throughs can go a big way if that helps you rank. So these things are all connected. So try it, and hope that helps. So this is a very powerful thing to get traffic, get more traffic, and ultimately improve your SEO, and ultimately improve your social media, because these things are all really connected, because headlines are everywhere. And by the way, also if you want to get publicity, you need headlines, right? Because people see the headline first, and that forces them, that they only sometimes see the headline. So it's the only one chance you get to convince them is with your headline. So this is it can be monumentally important. Just a simple headline, but very, very important. One chance you get to convince them is with your headline. So this is it can be monumentally important. Just a simple headline, but very, very important. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Hi there. In this video, we're going to talk about Google Plus and how that social media network is so important. Now, for social media, you probably think Facebook, Twitter, those are the main things, and you're kind of right. But Google Plus is important because it's part of Google, and it is going to have a big impact on our SEO, right? So for SEO, this is one of the, not the most important, but one of the most important social media networks. So let me show you how this works. So this is my, for example, Google Plus page. I don't do a whole lot with it, to be honest. I should be doing it more. I should do more with it, but I just don't have the time. So anyway, let's say that I want to promote this video, and it's basically a video on 50 business ideas to make money online. It's actually pretty cool. People like it. Actually, you see that people like it because it has 56 thumbs up versus only 5 thumbs down. It's not very old, and it's already got 3,000 views. So people generally like it. So, okay. So I go to my place here, right? And here you make a post. And one of the tricks here is to make a title. You put stars, and I'll show you how it looks when we post it. 50 ways to make money online. And let's say that we're going to post this video here, and I see it's just going to bring up our thumbnail so that it's going to be visual. And we're going to add hashtags. Make money online. And you can do more than 2, 3, 4. It's okay. 2 is just fine. So we share that. You want to make sure that it's public. This is very important, because if it's not public, it's not going to be useful for SEO. And remember, this is a very there. So it's going to get posted as a post, and you can have a longer post. For me, here where I posted, see how this is, by the way, see how this is bold? That's because we put the stars around it, and it acts as our title tag. And we could have added a lot of text here. I just didn't, but we could have. And it becomes, you see, it becomes a whole entire page, which is discoverable in Google possibly, right? Because it's a page on the internet, this post. So that's kind of cool. And Google does like to promote their own pages, YouTube pages, Google Plus pages. So this is one way to rank in Google just by itself. And it's going to help the video itself rank in YouTube and Google. And you can do this all the time. Now, I want to show you, for me, I don't have a lot of followers here. I have a lot of views actually, but not that many followers. But we want to build followers because the more followers you have, then Google sees you as more authoritative and gives more a sort of, there's more benefits that come with it. So that's one way that I use Google Plus. Another thing I do with Google Plus is I use Google Hangouts. Now, Google Hangouts are a little bit difficult to show on a video like this. The way I would use it is from my YouTube is you have this thing, Video Manager, and live events. And you can create a new live event. I'm not going to create a new live event now. And it's going to open a Google Hangout, which gets recorded right to your YouTube channel. You see that? So you can have, it's kind of like, if you're not familiar with Google Hangouts, it's kind of like Skype almost, but you can have multiple people in there. And the magical thing is that it gets recorded right into your, as soon as you stop recording, it gets saved right to your YouTube channel. So you can do a lot with that video. You can post it right onto YouTube and even start making money with AdSense, but that's not the greatest way to make money. But still, you can do interviews and you can do a lot. You can do group coaching or group sessions. There's a tremendous amount of things that I like to do with Google Hangouts. I use them often. In fact, I've done office hours for my Udemy students using Google Hangouts. So that was really good. Lastly, I want to mention, so these are the 2 main ways I use Google Hangouts, that I use Google Plus. Lastly, I want to briefly mention that there used to be a concept of Google authorship. And you may have heard that Google authorship will help you with SEO, things like that. Now, I want to say that Google has killed the project of Google authorship. In fact, this video I'm creating is a new video and to replace an old video in my course which talked about Google authorship, but Google authorship is now, Google said it's no longer a thing. They've killed it off. They're not doing that anymore. So if you're after Google authorship, Google has killed that project. So I just want you to be very aware. That's an update from 2014. So anyway, that's how I recommend using Google Plus. It's very good for SEO. And it's one of the very important social networks. So many people neglect it, but I hope you don't. Let's talk about YouTube marketing. Now, there will be an entire section later in the course where I'll teach you how to combine social media, SEO, and all the cooler strategies to really get a lot of exposure out of YouTube, because YouTube is a fantastic platform where you should be to establish your brand, position yourself as an expert, and do a lot of many good things, including making money, promoting other things. It's wonderful. But for now, let's just get you kind of started and explain why you should do it. The beautiful thing about YouTube is, as you remember from our offline marketing section, making face-to-face connections is really important, right? And you've got to do it as much as possible, but when you do it talking to people offline, that doesn't scale, right? Well, how many people can you really talk to before you get really tired of talking to that day? Or find people who want to talk to you? Not that many, right? 10, 5, 10, 15, but not more than that, right? Usually. So YouTube allows you to make a face-to-face connection with potentially millions of people, like tens of thousands, of hundreds of thousands, right? Maybe millions, depending, it's all up to you how far you get with YouTube, right? And so that's a cool thing. You get to forge a relationship where people can see you, right? Because the rest of the internet is like links, clicking, maybe people see your photo, but they don't get to know you. They don't get to see the real you. And that's special. So YouTube is the real only thing that offers that at significant scale. And by the way, Udemy, of course, offers that as well, which is a wonderful thing about Udemy. But the scale of YouTube is orders of magnitude bigger. So YouTube is fantastic to make relationships at scale. YouTube is also incredibly versatile, right? Your content can get discovered through YouTube search. Videos appear on Google search as well. So you can, that will take care of some of your Google SEO. You can take the audio from those videos and sometimes make it into a podcast without too much extra work. YouTube will also, once your video starts becoming popular on YouTube, YouTube will also start to recommend you in their recommendations engine algorithm. So that way you'll get even more exposure. And things that typically do well are informational and educational and entertainment things. But the things that go really well are entertaining and viral. Well, sometimes also news and social commentary does well. But if you can make whatever you make more entertaining, it will do better on YouTube. So usually it's an entertainment platform, but it's also used a lot for education, obviously. But if you can combine, education and entertainment, that's even better. So we'll talk, as I mentioned earlier, this course does have a section later where you'll learn how to leverage SEO. You'll learn the details of what you need to have a successful channel, like I do, and I share what I did on my channel to make it at least somewhat successful. I mean, right now I have about 500,000 views on my channel, and it's not the best channel by any means, but it's certainly not nothing, right? So at least I can explain to you share the tips and strategies how I got to that level. So that's kind of it for YouTube. It offers a lot, and soon I will explain the details. This video was just to sort of get you ready and primed for it, but how to do the actual YouTube marketing, that's coming soon. Now, social media marketing is a complicated topic, so let's have a little bit of a summary of what we learned before we get into even more social media topics. Okay, so how do you do this the right way? I know when people first start out, they're like, I'm going to promote on Facebook and Twitter. I'm going to post my product and I'm going to promote. But hold on. Let's get back to the basics. You want to do long-term stuff like position yourself as an expert, build your business brand as an expert and a thought leader in your niche. You want to build a loyal audience and build subscribers that you can on multiple platforms that you choose, so that you can reach out to again and again. So that's like maybe YouTube subscribers, email subscribers, maybe big Twitter list, who knows, but something that you have an audience. You want to build an audience because that's long lasting, right? And then you, of course, want to combine social media with SEO strategies to amplify results. And actually, there will be more lectures on that coming up soon in the course. So more things you want to do. You want to be personable. You want to be entertaining. You want to be likable. You want to be a nice social media public personality. Let people know the human side of you, and actually make sure they like the human side of you, right? Don't be a jerk. Be nice. Be funny. Be entertaining. Be pleasant. Be polite. You want people to really begin to like you and trust you, so that when they trust you and like you, they're going to be more likely to interact with your brand, with whatever business you have. They'll be more open to that business, right? And that'll be a beautiful thing. And then, of course, you always want to create and share. You want to create high quality content to share on social media, and then you want to share high quality content by other people on social media, because when you share on content by other people, not only does it give you more to share, but it also gets other people who made that content to like you and maybe help to share your content. So it's a two-way street. Now, what do you not supposed to do? Don't sell too aggressively too fast. It's probably not going to result in sales anyway. Don't share low quality content. Don't be rude, and don't position your social media profiles to be unprofessional. So you can have nice personal photos, but not your drunk party pictures or something like that, or where, where you're being kind of like, where people can get you the wrong way or misunderstand you the wrong way or get a negative perception of you. Always be nice, always be pleasant, because why not? That's a good way to go anyway, right? So anyway, that's a recap of how the good practices of social media marketing. Soon we'll get into more complex topics and more specifics on how to do it on Facebook, how to do it on Twitter, things like that. So for now, that's it as the recap.